So here we are then on the grid for the Bahrain Grand Prix, and we ride on board. If you are just joining us, where have you been? VSR Square on pole position with an incredible lap of a 25.611 with Zach Oates just missing out in P2 by 36 thousandths of a second. PSR Fern takes a very solid P3 on his return with P3 with Maloney in P4 trying to get that other championship that he cruelly got taken away from him in Brazil with Leopard in P5. Scather takes P6 with FRT Tom rounding out in P7. Cindery in 8th with Reclusive in P9. Wyatt Jamin takes P10 with ERL Franick in 11th. Bourbon Boys 12th with TMS Amazing 13th. And F1 Ben in P14 couldn't get a lap time in time, obviously with that crash. And the bottom 11th, Franick, Bourbon Boy, Amazed and F1 Ben all on the mediums, which is very interesting indeed. So trying for the alternate strategy, which I assume will probably be quicker. I think it is probably quicker than a couple, but we are now waiting on the grid. Hopefully we can get underway as quick as possible, but obviously there we go. We are on the grid now on the formation lap, on the reconnaissance lap for the Bahrain Grand Prix with VSR Square on pole position with Zach Oates in P2. A brilliant lap time there from the both of them, and this could be a very locked-in battle we have between these two drivers. But remember, we have the world champion BRL Davison yet to make his return to season 11. Hopefully we'll be back for the next race at Saudi Arabia, which will be next week. But VSR Square and Oaks setting the pace early here in round 1 with Fern in P3. Maloney takes P4 and Leopard in P5 as Zach Oates is not where. Zach Oates, what am I saying? VSR Square taking no time at all to get racing and already clearing Zach Oates at the moment with Fern holding out in P3. Maloney in P4. And this should be an absolute corkover race we have in store with Leopard in P5. The debutant, not what am I saying, debutant, the 6th-time champion of Leopard, winning it in season 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 9. Looking to try and get his 7th on his final season of LCR. And I believe on Xbox as well. So we wish him the best of luck as VSR Square coming up towards the line now to try and get pole position. He has got pole position, so 50% of the work done. Can he get back up with a win? Apex, Pepsi, Leopard, 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 Syrah, Leopard, Davison. The 10 season, the 6-5 champions of LCR. Can either one of these drivers add their names to the list of glory? VSR Square on pole position with Zach Oates in P2, PSR Fern in P3 with Maloney in P4, Leopard is 5th with Scather in 6th, FRT Tom in 7th with Cindery in P8, Reclusive is 9th, and Wyatt Jamin takes P10. Bourbon Boy is 11th with TMS Amazed in P12, and we are ready to go for the first round of the season here in LCR. One of the best seasons we have in store for you. One of the most exciting we have in store, and we cannot wait for the start of this one. And the 5 red lights will be out momentarily. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights. The 5 lights are on to start season 11. Red turns to green. Let's go, 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 go. VSR Square gets a brilliant lap time off the start. Incredibly trying to block Zach Oates into turn 1. Does he lead into turn 1? Yes, he does. Zach Oates trying it around the outside. Can't get it done. Fern trying it around the outside of Oates. Can't get it done. Leopard trying it around the outside of Fern. Contact made off the gravel. Goes Leopard. Little bit of contact made. And there's more contact further back. That's Franick round as well. Incredible stuff. With FRT Tom getting in the mix as well. A bad start. Here comes Zach Oates round the outside of Square. Can't get it done. Square leads into turn 1. And a brilliant start from Square as he comes in to the next left-hander into sector 2. Fern keeps in P3 as well. Leopard in P4. Scather trying to make up ground into P5 with Wyatt Jamin down into 6th. Reclusive in 7th. Cindery stays 8th. Maloney having a shocker off the start as Fern and Zach Oates moving positions all the time. Going very, very wide and losing P5 down into P5, losing P2 and off the gravel trying to make as much ground as possible. Can't get it done. So Fern moving up into P2. Square now 1.1 seconds clear of the field with Leopard now now in P3's focus very, very wide off the exit sector 3, and Leopard trying for an opening, can't get it done as Reclusive, getting close to Zakos losing positions all the time, now down into P9, not sure what is happening, up into P6 now, a little bit of connection issues going on there, but a brilliant first lap, which leads Square up into turn 1, leading the way, and the fastest lap goes there with a 31.342, what a first lap we have had in Bahrain to start things off in Season 11. What a lap time as Zakos getting closer to White Champion down the inside of turn 1 of his PSR compatriot. Little bit of wheel banging between them, but no harm, no foul. Zakos up into P5 as Reclusive getting closer to White Champion. Does he want to go for it? Does Reclusive? No, he doesn't. Just biding his time on the Williams and trying to gain as much position as possible. Bourbon Boy having a good start as well from P12, sorry, up into P10, getting away out of the way of all the carnage as Reclusive now making his way into White Champion. Still can't get it done. A little bit more banging between the wheels, sorry. But Reclusive gets the job done up into P6. And away he goes as White Champion relegates to 7th and still pushing on is White Champion. DRS now not open with 2 laps gone as we have one more lap until the DRS is enabled through the left once again as Franek has caught up to the grid apart from that spin, doing very, very well to keep up and not giving up all the way. As Scather trying to get onto that podium through the right once again, coming up towards Leopard in P3, but Square continuing to mount his way as Fern getting closer to the back of Square. Currently in P2 as Maloney and Cinery going side by side down into the final corner. Maloney stuck his nose in, couldn't get it done. Square, fastest man, incredibly. Fern takes it away, 29.518 is your new fastest lap of the races. DRS is now enabled as White Jammin getting incredibly closer to Reclusive through into turn 1. Zakos needs to try and close up to Scala now to try and get back what is his. As Maloney trying something on Cindery, once again closing up the gap in towards the next right-hander as White Jammin getting very, very close to Reclusive. This is how much he wants this P6, how much he wants to try and dare. Through the right once again comes the Williams driver. Through the left, a little bit of a more rotation as he hits the curb there. Through the next right-hander once again as F40 Tom making moves on F1 Ben. But that's a crush there for F1 Ben and not starting Tier 1 the way he would like. And that is a spin once again, trying his best to try and get back on the field, but once again just having a little bit more issues is the Aston Martin. Unfortunate way to start his Tier 1 debut as White Jammin goes a little bit wider. Cindery now has a chance of White Jammin. Does he want to try around the outside? No, he does not, and incredibly still getting closer and closer to the Williams. Doesn't dive it this time, a little bit too far back on the Williams driver as we run on board with all the telemetry, etc. Still getting closer is the Ferrari. And into the final corner, getting closer once again. White Jammin just not having the best final sectors. Probably his weakest point as Cindery now has a chance. White Jammin does not have the DRS. Pulls out to the right-hand side. Cindery clears past the Williams of White Jammin in the Ferrari. And job done. Does Maloney want to follow? He's diving it down the inside. White Jammin could lose 2 in 1 here. And that is Scather off the track as well. That is contact as well from the Alpine. And that is not a good start from Scather, who was looking pretty good. These past 4 laps are just making an incident as Reclusive and Zakos continue battle. And that is Zakos off the track once again. And it's all happening here on lap 4 as Zakos is another one to make a mistake. And not a good way as well. Just started a little bit too far back. Once again, P2 he had, but now he's down into P13. Not a good start to Tier 1 as Bourbon Boy getting closer to White Jammin once again trying to battle with Maloney and through the left-hander once again getting closer to the Williams. White Jammin just not having the best of times out there on those soft compound tyres. Scather with a 5-second penalty goes a little bit wide and still continues to battle as Zakos getting closer with Scather getting closer to Franek as well through the left-hander once again, not quite close enough as Bourbon Boy getting closer to White Jammin as we continue towards this battle with the Red Bull versus the Williams 3000s. Behind is Bourbon Boy on his personal best. And through onto the back straight. This could try and open up for a move on to the start finish straight through into the final corner. Leopard trying to get closer to Fern as well as we run on boards with that battle for P2. Leopard getting closer to the Alfa Romeo. Is he close enough this time? Is he? No, he's not quite. But we stay on board with this position for Bourbon Boy versus Wide Jamming. Side-by-side action into turn one. They break around the same. Wide Jamming trying to hold it around the outside. Can't get it done. Zach Oates is our first retirement of the race. An unfortunate end to his race, only lasting 5 laps. But it is our first retirement of the season. Hopefully can try and bounce back next week in Saudi Arabia. Bourbon Boy just locked up a little bit, but he's got the job done. And that is up to P7. Goes Bourbon Boy. Scala gets the job done on Frantic as Maloney getting closer to Cindery through the next right. Once again, Leopard getting close to Fern as well through the next left. Once again, is he close enough to try and get a move on this back straight? Probably not, as he comes into the next DRS. He has a little bit of DRS to play around with, about half a battery, as you can see on his steering wheel there. And next, through the left, does he get closer to Fern? No, he's not. Just still in that 4/10 square. Now about 2 seconds up the road from Fern. As he head on to lap 5 at 29, on to lap 6 in a couple of moments, as Leopard getting incredibly closer to Fern here. And through into the next final corner, still putting on the pressure is the German genius of Leopard as Maloney and Cindery almost going 3 abreast there. There's brilliant racing further back for P4 as Leopard could have this job done here, but here comes Reclusive, Cindery and Maloney. They're going to go 3 wide. Leopard gets the job done in P2. Here they come now, Reclusive and Cindery 3 wide abreast down the back straight. Who is braver? They're still 3 wide. Cindery down the inside of both of them. Can he get the job done? Maloney trying around the outside as well into the inside line. They're still side by side up towards the back straight, and they're still 3 wide. Absolutely fantastic racing here. Maloney, does he hold it around the outside? Here comes Reclusive down the inside. Here comes Bourbon Boy as well. They're 4 wide, almost into the turn 4. Absolutely fantastic. Oh my goodness me, that's a tap. And Bourbon Boy sent spinning. Oh no. And there's a little bit of tap between Bourbon Boy and Cindery. You can see there 2 cars into 1. Does not go into that corner, and Cindery does get away with it. But it has Bourbon Boy's race absolutely ruined now and has to do all that hard work once again, and all undone on the mediums. Just needs to try and back off now as much as he can, as Fern on the other hand did lose out to Leopard as well, but needs to try and back out once again, still getting closer to the Mercedes by the second. And he's still trying to push on the Mercedes as they come through into the back straight and in to the next right. Here comes Fern into the final corner as Leopard has got closer to square. So Fern doing well to just try and let him go and just try and stick with the Mercedes. He now has DRS. Is he close enough to try and get a move done into the start finish straight? He's gaining and gaining and gaining, but not still quite close enough to the German through the first turn one. A little bit of a lock-up there as we mine on board with Cindery getting extremely close to Reclusive as Maloney trying his best to keep up as well. And through the next left once again, Reclusive goes a little bit wide. Here comes Cindery on the back straight. DRS is unable. Maloney tries to clover off as well. Reclusive on the other hand does get away with it this time, and still in front of the Shazoo driver of Cindery in the Ferrari as Frantic and Scala continue to battle. As Reclusive still on the hunt to try and get Cindery away. Cindery on the other hand still trying his best to keep in front as Maloney is hunting down alongside Wide Jamming, trying to get into this battle as Tom and Amay still battling away, and Scala and Frantic as well battling away, is battling everywhere. Excuse me, everywhere you look as Fern just losing out to P2 at the moment as Leopard has fought back well to try and keep up as Amay is another penalty adequate as well as Frantic as well gets a penalty. Tom gets the job done and Amay down the inside gets the job done beautifully as Maloney still carrying his way on Cindery through the next right. Once again comes the McLaren driver. Maloney trying his best to keep up with Cindery. Cindery trying to keep him behind, but in doing so tries to fight Reclusive as well, as there's going to be a 3 wide battle here, maybe closing up. Leopard getting closer to square. He's now in the DRS. He's absolutely pushed like a maniac here in these past couple of laps to try and close up the battle to Square. Now Square has to try and defend once again, and through the next right and into the next left. There's more yellow flag going on, and that is Scalo once again in the wars around into the final corner, and that could be his day over. And through the right once again comes Leopard and Square and Fern. All three abreast as Cindery and Maloney still battling away alongside Reclusive. Scather trying an early box maybe onto the hards, trying to hope for a safety car in that fact. Through the next left and right comes the battling pair of Reclusive, Cindery and Maloney. Red Bull versus Ferrari versus McLaren. Where have we heard that in the past? And through the right comes Maloney still battling away with Cindery and Reclusive, and into the next left. Reclusive still leads the way at the moment in this battle, but Cindery getting closer, and there goes Reclusive really wide, and there's battling between them, side by side action, and this is Cindery's chance to try and get P4 away from the Red Bull. Side by side action as they come into the next hand. Cindery down the inside gets the job done on the Red Bull, caught lacking, forced into a mistake, and Reclusive now has to pay the price in P5 as F1 Ben has had more incidents. Reclusive practically pushing Cindery through the next right-hander, and this could be an opportunity for Maloney here into the back straight. This could be another 3-wide action as Leopard getting closer to Square as well into 6th, and that is Square in the pit stop. So pulling the trigger early is the race leader. Here comes Cindery versus Reclusive versus Maloney. Does he want to pit? No, he doesn't. Cindery tries to break the toe. Here comes Cindery trying to defend from the Red Bull and the McLaren. They're going to go 3 wides. Reclusive pulls out to the right hand side. Maloney just heights in. Reclusive round the outside of the Ferrari. Gets the job done, but Cindery's still there on a switchback round the outside. Goes to Ferrari, couldn't get it done. A little bit of a contact made, but it gets away there. Here comes Maloney, here comes Reclusive, here comes Cindery, 3 wide. And once again, Maloney trying it down the inside. Can't get it done. Reclusive, and oh, that's Maloney round. And more contact made. And Maloney is round once again. Not what he wants to see. And maybe this is the time to pit off onto the mediums or maybe onto the hards as that coach retires, as we said. But Cindery once again making a little bit of contact, probably not his fault, as Maloney tried it down the inside, couldn't get it done, and once again has to pay the price and try and cut off. But this battle between Cindery and Reclusive still under heat pressure as Square did not box actually. He tried to go out, tried to play a dummy, and it did work in fact. But Leopard is still getting closer to PSR Square and onto the back straight. Here they come now. This is his best chance to strike. Does he want to dive it down the inside? Maybe just waiting unless Square wants to pit this lap in through the next final corner. Leopard all the way back on Square right now. This is a good time to strike. Does Square pit this time? Yes, he does. Leopard is in as well. Fern is in as well. Trying to battle into the pit lane. Can't get it done. So the top 3 now battle into the pit stops. Leopard gets served first. VSL Square is next to get served. Fern gets served last as Reclusive now battling away as Cindery has boxed as well. Team SMEs in P2, and they all came out as they did. Square in first with Leopard in second. Fern in P3, all on the medium compound of tyres on lap 10 of 29. So Square leads them away with Leopard in P2. Cindery has retired in the race, which is very interesting. Not sure why he decided to do that as he was in a tight battle, but there we go. And through the next left and the right, Fern trying to get closer to Leopard. Leopard losing a couple of tenths in that lap under the pit stop, through the final corner, but gets away with it. Still in the DRS range, nevertheless. And still, once again, through the right, through the left, and that is F1 Ben. Round once again, not having a good day is F1 Ben here, and still trundling on. Fair play to him on the hard compound tyres. And through the left once again. Here comes Leopard now 1.1 seconds behind. So Fern is going to have to try something here to try and get closer up and trying to get a job done. And through into the back straight once again comes Leopard. Through the next left once again. And into the right. Here comes Fern trying to pounce on an opportunity on Leopard. Through the next right once again. All on fresh medium. So Square now 1.6 in front and absolutely flying on these medium compound tyres. A purple sector 2 goes the Alpine as Leopard just trying to get used to these mediums once again. Just a little bit too cold at the moment. Reclusive still decides to stay in as F1 Ben pits once again, and that is a retirement for the Aston Martin, so we're down to 11. Here comes Fern on the back straight looking for an overtake on Leopard. He's gaining in and gaining and gaining. Leopard tries to break the toe, can't get it done, and still Fern tries to battle, and once again can't get it done as TMS Amaze and Baldwin Boy battling away. Baldwin Boy lets lets Baldwin Boy go, and there's now a Red Bull 1-2. All of the top 4 yet to pit stop. Remember, so we have to be careful of that as Fern still getting close to Leopard through the right once again, and in comes Fern still battling away. Scather with the fastest lap with a 29.295 through the right and through the left, still battling away is Fern on Leopard. Leopard trying his best to try and keep up. Obviously these mediums are probably not his best strategy at the moment. His soft strategy or soft stint, sorry, was probably his best stint at the moment. He is losing a lot of time to Square here. It's now 2 seconds, so obviously these mediums not working to Leopard's favour as he would have wanted. Through the next left once again comes Fern, and still plugging away is Leopard. And through the next right once again comes Fern. This is his best time to strike here. This could be a net P2 waiting for Fern through the final rights of sector 2 and into sector 3, which is one final corner away. Through into the next right once again comes Fern as Reclusive pits off those softs, so he's the final man to pit off the soft compound tyres. So here comes Fern. This will be the battle for P5 Square. Now the fast man on track, 29.126. Blistering pace on the mediums at the moment for Joseph Loke. Is Fern close enough this time? Probably not. Leopard trying to use up his ERS as much as he can to try and defend. Fern does have quite a bit of ERS still to burn, probably about 36%. I'm looking at on the wheel as Fern still battling away as Amazed, and Franick still battling away for P2 on track at the moment. Through the next right once again as Franick still continues to battle. Big slide there, and that is Franick rounds once again, just losing it on traction on the mediums, and that is Square through in P3, Leopard through in P4, Fern up into 5th. And Franick was looking very, very good to try and keep up with Amaze there, but just losing it on traction, and maybe he's going to have to try and do a lot more laps there on those mediums to try and go onto a soft stint there, but still not looking good as Franick still been struggling on the tyre wear, probably with a very, very high temperature tyres. You could probably tell from that spin. And through the next left comes Fern still battling away with Leopard. He has to try and get in front of Leopard as quickly as possible. Through the next right once again comes Fern and Leopard. Here comes Fern now using his ERS, you can see, to try and get as closer to Leopard as he can. Fern is probably looking much quicker than Leopard at the moment and probably trying to battle with Square in moments to come. Here they come now on the back straight. Fern now looking for a move on Leopard. DRS wide open for the Mexican on the Alfa Romeo on the Mercedes. Here they come now. Is he close enough into turn 1? He's gaining and gaining. He pulls out to the right-hander. Not quite close enough as Franick does retire in the pit lane. So we're down to 10. Through the next left once again comes Fern onto the back straight. Once again, a time to strike for Fern. Here they come now. DRS wide open for the Mexican. Still can't quite get a move done, and still trying his best to keep up to Leopard, but still not working out in his favour. Through the next left and right once again, Fern trying his best to keep up with Leopard. Through the next left once again, Baldwin Boy and Anime still yet to pit stop, but Leopard now finding a little bit of pace at the moment, still trying to keep up with Square, but 2.4 seconds behind. Fern is still looking a little bit better. Through the next left once again, Fern through the left and onto the back straight. DRS wide open on the Alfa Romeo, in through the gears. Here he comes now, trying his best to keep up with the Mercedes. Once again through the next left, and Fern now has to try something. He has to try and keep up with Leopard as much as he can and try and get an overtake done before Leopard tries to keep up with Square. Square is in a little bit of traffic here. Through the next right once again, Fern testing his limits here with the track limits. You can probably tell with that back straight as Square now gets up into the DRS range of Amazed and Baldwin Boy as they still continue for one more lap. Fern just messing up the final sector there. Massive slide there on the Alfa Romeo. DRS is enabled for the Alfa Romeo, but is he close enough to Leopard is the question. through into turn 1, still not quite close enough for square, getting closer to TMS Amaze through the next left and into the right. Square does get a good run. Is he close enough to try and make the move? Probably not. There is Leopard and Fern in the background battling away. And through into the next right, sorry. Leopard leads with Fern in P5. Next left and right for Leopard, still in front of Fern, but only by a thread. As Square still battling away. This could cause Leopard to try and catch up if Amaze tries to block him as much as he can. He is entitled to. This is the battle for on track, so no blue flags waved. As here comes Square. DRS wide open. This should be fairly easy for the Alpine. Pulls out to the left-hand side. Amaze does not try and battle it too hard. Doesn't make it too hard for him. Square up into P2. Brilliant move there from the Alpine. Gets the job done as Fern getting much, much closer to Leopard. This is the closest he's been in this part of the circuit. Just washed out there on the curb and just losing a little bit of time there as I just say that. Commentators cursing through the next right. Once again, Fern now has to put the power down. ERS usage on this back straight and still closing up is Leopard, but Leopard now is closing up to the DRS range of Amaze. So Fern now has to perfect this sector 3, and he fairly does it well. DRS once again in use for Fern. Is he close enough this time? Probably not. 7 tenths in at the moment on to turn 1. Is he close enough? Is he close enough? Not quite. And so that's a battle with Leopard, and starts to look at the back of that Mercedes rear wing once again. And Leopard now 7 tenths clear at the moment, so he's finally found a little bit more pace on those medium compound tyres. As Amazed and Baldwin Boy trying to extend as much as they can to go onto the soft compound tyres soon. Baldwin Boy still leading about a 4.3 second gap he has to VSR Square at the moment in P2. TMS Amaze in P3 with Leopard in P4. Fern close behind in P5. Through the next left comes the Alpine. Is he close enough to try and battle with Leopard at this moment in time? Through into the double left once again. Is he close enough this time? Still is the question. No. DRS in usage once again for Fern, but now Leopard has the DRS on Amaze. 7 tenths is the gap now, so Fern really has to get the job done here if he wants to try and close up. Fern now 4 tenths behind Leopard, the closest he's been now without messing up the final couple of sectors of sector 2. Through the right, Scather with another penalty. Through the right, Amaze getting closer, but Leopard just gets caught up there, so Leopard now has to try and manage with TMS Amaze. Is so much quicker, practically pushing him through the final corner, and he wants that DRS. You can see he's pushing him through, and now Fern has an opportunity to try and take P3 here. Here they come now, Leopard and Amaze and Fern. Here they come now, DRS in usage. Leopard does have the DRS. Here comes Leopard through the right. Here comes Amaze trying to defend. Here comes Fern. Does he want to dive it? Does he want it? No, he doesn't. He's not quite close enough this time. He just thinks about it a little bit more, and still behind Leopard through the next steps is yellow flags in usage, and that is Scather as Tom and Wide jamming, battling for P6, and Tom trying it down the inside, just messing up a little bit too much, braking around the outside. Goes Wide jamming, brilliant move there on the AlphaTauri. They're still side by side there. Tom versus Wide jamming down the inside. Goes Wide jamming. Tom trying for a switchback. Does he want to get it? No, he's not. Not quite close enough once again, and still has to try and battle away with Wide jamming once again. Wide jamming defending very, very nicely there and keeps hold of P6 for the time being. Meanwhile, Fern now has a good chance to try and catch up with Leopard in, try and overtake him, to try and catch up to Square. DRS in usage once again for Fern. Through into the next left once again comes the Mercedes of Leopard, still in front. Fern once again perfecting that left-hander. Leopard now under a lot of pressure, as he has been for these past couple of laps. Lap 16 to 29, only a couple of handful laps to go. Fern just a little bit so aggressive on the curve and loses a little bit of traction there, and that is completely ruined a overtake he's tried to plan on the back straight, and once again has to look at Leopard once again and onto the DRS straights. 7 tenths is probably not going to cut it. A little bit too far behind once again, as Leopard still trying to push on with Square. 2.3 seconds up the road. Baldwin Boy is yet to box, remember. Still Fern tries to battle away as Tom and Wide jamming once again battling away. This time Tom has it more comfortably and into the braking zone, gets into P6. Much more better there, but Wide jamming penalty free. Tom with still penalties up his sleeve. 3 seconds for Amazed and Tom, 6 seconds for Scather, but he has now left the session. So we're down to 9 current races, and through the right once again comes wide jamming, trying to push on to Tom for this battle for P6 on track. And into the sector 1 split and into sector 2 they go. Wide jamming now getting closer, but Fern, we're on board with this battle for P3 for the final spot of the podium. Remember, Baldwin Boy still yet to box. Through into the next left once again. Still plugging away for P3 is Leopard. Is he for Fern, sorry. Is he close enough to try something this time? Is he wants it? Does he want it is the question. Through into the next right once again comes Fern. And once again trying something is Fern. Is he close enough this time? Probably not. Still in that 7 tenths. He has to try and close up as much as he can. Wide jamming now with a 3-second time penalty. So now that battle between him and Tom heating up even more. Leopard now closing up to square. So now he finds a little bit more pace on those medium compounded tyres and still plugging away is Leopard. Fern is getting closer as a Maze now pits off those mediums and on to the softs he goes. So now 10-11 laps on the soft compound tyres will do for a Maze. Fairly doable here in Bahrain. Obviously the tyre temperatures are a little bit high as we are in the desert, but hopefully should be okay for the rest of the race with Maloney and Bourbon Boy still trying to extend as much as he can. 2 seconds. Leopard is behind Square. 1.9 seconds behind Bourbon Boy is Square. As Leopard now 1.9 in, so he's getting closer. So Bourbon Boy, will he try and pit this lap, or will he try to extend to try and catch Leopard as much as he can? Or will he try and pit this lap is the question. And through into the back straight onto the left, or where would he come out is the question. Let's have a look. I think he would come out about P8. Yeah, I would. About P8 would Baldwin Boy come out. But Fern once again closing up to Leopard as much as he can. He has to try and perfect this final corner of sector 2. Does he get it better this time? Through the right once again. And once again does get it better once again. ERS in usage for Fern. This is how desperate he is. That's the longest he's used his ERS. Now Square is in the DRS range of Bourbon Boy. So Leopard still behind Square at the moment. Hasn't caught up as much as he would have liked. And through the back straight now. Fern, DRS in usage. Bourbon Boy. Now time to pit. On to the soft compound tyres. Here comes Fern in usage of Leopard. Does he want to dive it? He pulls out to the right side. This is the closest he's been, but just backs out of the move just in time to try and not get a contact there, as I can't even speak anymore. Through the next right. DRS in usage once again for Fern. Is he close enough this time? 10 laps to go in the first round of LCR Season 11. Through the next left once again. Fern trying his best to keep up to Leopard to try and overtake him. This is how close he's been all race. And through the right, Leopard has done very, very well to get where he is. Obviously qualifying in P5, a fairly poor qualifying. He's done well to get it up into P2. Probably my driver of the day so far, but he's doing well. But Fern is trying to get closer to Leopard, trying his best to keep up with the German. Through the next left once again. DRS wide open for Fern. Is he close enough to try and battle with Leopard once again? DRS in usage for the Alfa Romeo. And through the next left comes Fern. And onto the back straight, doesn't get washed out by the curve this time. But now is his time to strike. Leopard still out of DRS usage from Square. Through the next right once again. Fern, does he get it right? Yes, he does. And gets enough time on Leopard. ERS, does he want to use it? No, he doesn't. 5 tenths back is Fern at the moment. He now has to use as much ERS as he can to try and get into the back straight to try and catch up to Square. ERS in usage now for DRS. Here he comes now for Fern. DRS in usage once again. Is he going to get close enough to Leopard? He tries to stick in the slipstream. He's gaining and gaining and gaining on the Mercedes. Leopard low on ERS now, trying his best to try and stay in front of Fern with very low ERS. Reclusive and wide jamming battling away for P5, and Reclusive gets the job done. Up into P5 he goes. Tom up into P4. Fern now in P3 with Leopard in P2, and this where they were a couple of laps ago. Square leads with Leopard in second, Fern in third, and now trying his best to try and get up into P2. And what a debut this would be for Fern if he can get P2 and through the next right. And what a birthday treat it would be for the Mexicans. They come through the next double left once again, trying his best to keep up with Leopard. Through the next left once again, it comes Fern. DRS now in usage for the Alfa Romeo, and now he has to try and close up as much as he can. It's been the closest he's been all race. This is his best time to strike. Through the next left once again comes Fern. 4 tenths back on Leopard at the moment. Perfect through the next left. through the next right. Once again, fairly perfect. 4/10 back is Fern at the moment, but Leopard is gaining on square. So now this could be the triple threat. For the double threat, sorry, on square. Here comes Fern now, using all his ERS that he can. Leopard is very, very low, remember. He was running very, very low on the back straights. So here comes Fern now, 4/10 back on Leopard. This is his best time to strike, using the ERS on the exit. DRS now in usage for Fern. Is he close enough on Leopard? He's gaining now. Does he want to peel out to the right-hand side? Yes, he does. He pulls out to the right-hand side. Fern down the inside into turn 1. And this time, oh my god, I've hit my home screen. Fern down into turn 1. Gets the job done. And finally, up into P2. But Leopard's going to fight back as much as he can. But Fern does get the DRS. And Fern finally gets up into P2 and gets the job done. And now he can try and push on square now with 9 laps to go through the left and through the right. 1.7 seconds. Fern can still win this on square. 1.6 is the gap. Square has just not been using, quick enough on these mediums at the end of the stint, and Fern has been saving quite a bit. And now he can try and battle with Square, who's currently leading with Fern in P2 at the moment, with Leopards in P3. As you can just see in the background, Fern trying his best to keep up. As we just look on the telemetry, and 44% usage of ERS for Fern, now up to 48. Leopard does not have a lot. Square has used it a lot, trying to get this fast as that 11% he's on now. So Fern is probably the healthiest out of the three as we look back to Jamin versus Reclusive, still battling away as Bourbon Boy getting closer to Maloney, and Maloney making a little bit of a mistake there, running a little bit too wide, and through the next right once again comes Bourbon Boy on the freshest off compounds. Through the next right on the penultimate right. Here comes Bourbon Boy all the way back now on Maloney. Does he want it this time? Just pulls out to try and let him have the DRS. But look at Leopard. Look how close he is. And way before the straights. Leopard up into P2. He gets it back. And now Fern has to try and keep up with Leopards. And probably this is his game now to try and keep Leopards, to try and catch up to Square now. 1.9 is the gap as Bourbon Boy this time gets the job done. And Maloney up into P7 he goes on the soft compound tires, trying his best now to catch up to Jam. He's battling away with Reclusive. DRS wide open for Jam, but probably not quite close enough this time for a move as Fern getting closer to Leopard. But Square right now looking decent for the race win at the moment. 1.9 back is Square. Is he close enough to try and make a move is the question. Think about the left once again. Comes Fern, and then to the back straight. DRS in usage for Fern. On to the back straight on Leopard, trying his best to keep up with the Mercedes. 2.1 now is the gap between between Leopard and Square. Sorry, through the next left. Square has been absolutely brilliant today. Got pole position of Zach Oates and now has led all the way through practically in this train. 2 seconds is the gap between himself and Leopard. Through the next right, Fern comes on the back straight and now still battling away as Fern. This has been a close-up once again to try and attack on Leopard. Through the next right comes Fern on the final corner with about 5 laps to go now. 8 laps to go, sorry. And on to the back straight comes Fern. 5/10 back. DRS in usage. Does he want to use his ERS? No, he doesn't. Leopard very, very low on ERS. Here comes Fern once again, battling on Leopard. Does he want to send it late? No, he doesn't. And just thinks about it once again for a matter of seconds. As Scather is into the pit lane. That is his AI. That's a big snap for Fern. Very, very lucky to not lose it there. And that would have been absolutely heartbreaking as Bourbon Boy down the inside of Jamin. Jamin tries to hold it. Here they come now side by side into turn 2. Bourbon Boy gets it done. And up into P6. And now he's on a charge. Red Bull doing well to keep up here. 5 and 6. The most points will be taken home at the moment to Red Bull at the moment. Square still battling away. Fern trying to keep up with Leopard. He's had a brilliant race so far. Has Fern at the moment. Through the next left once again comes Fern. A big block up on those medium compound tires. They're all equal now on the tyre wet. Square 12 laps with Leopard, 12 laps. Fern as well, 12 laps with Tom in the background. 9 seconds back, 13 laps. He's done well to try and keep it this way as well. And once again battling away is Fern on Leopard, as he has been throughout this race. Through the next right once again, DRS and ERS in usage as they come through the next final corner. Reclusive getting closer to Tom alongside Bourbon Boy. This battle for P4 at the moment. 3-way tie at the moment as Bourbon Boy trying to close up with Scather in the AI. But we move on to the battle for P2. Leopard versus Fern. Is Fern close enough to try and make a move this time on Leopard. It's not looking likely. DRS is in usage on the Mexican, but still not quite close enough with 4 laps to go. What can Fern here do now as Reclusive getting closer to Tom? Bourbon Boy is getting closer to Reclusive. Does Reclusive want to try it into turn 1? No, he doesn't. But Tom getting the DRS on Scala. He gets away with it and through the next left. And that is a big slide for Reclusive. Bourbon Boy off the grass. Gets it done. And got it fairly, to be fair, as the 2 Red Bulls switch positions. Reclusive making a big snap of oversteer there on turn 3. Bourbon Boy actually went off the track there to overtake, but he didn't give it back, which is strange. But that is fair enough. I can't even speak now. And on the soft compound tyres, Bourbon Boy closing up to Tom, and this could be a very, very good opportunity for Bourbon Boy to get some more solid points. And up to 4th at the moment with the penalties applied. Fern is still getting closer to Leopard. 3/10 back through the next left. Square is about 2 seconds up the road from this battling pair of Leopard versus Fern. Bourbon Boy down the inside of Tom gets the job done, and now on track is up into P4, and now with 5 laps to go. How close can he get to Fern in this latter stages? Here comes Fern now, still battling away on Leopard and through the final right once again. Fern through the final corner, 6/10 back at the moment, now into almost 5/10, 6/10 it is. DRS wide open, and still Fern doesn't want to touch any of his ERS, probably waiting for the final corner to try and pounce. DRS in usage once again on Fern, and still not quite close enough in the end to make the move up into turn 1, and still has to wait his turn on Leopards once again through the next left. Once again DRS wide open for Furnace. Tom and Bourbon Boy battling away. Tom riding around the outside. Bourbon Boy gets a switch back down. We're on a ball with Reclusive. This could be a good opportunity. Tom backs out and still side by side comes Reclusive. Does he get the job done on Tom? Yes he does. Does he get the job done? And that's a big snap, and Tom sent spinning, and Reclusive just got boxed in there and just swiped Reclusive there. Not much that either party Tom could do, as Reclusive probably should have just waited to try and make the move. He tried it down the inside of his teammate but couldn't get it done, and in consequence just swiped Tom there, and that is not what he wanted, as Maloney now closing up with wide jamming in the background. So Tom now be losing only the 1 position at the moment. If you just check the penalties once again, 3 apiece, so he only be losing P6 at the moment, but Fern still closing in on Leopards, and Reclusive closing in on his teammate of Bourbon Boy through the next right square. 1.8 up the road, so Leopard has been trying to close up as much as he can. Square using a lot of his ERS, now down to 5%. He's not been keeping it well, has the youngster, and through the final corner once again with lap 25 completed. Once a lap 26 of 29. DRS wide open for Fern, lap 26 of 29. 4 laps to go. Here comes Fern now, trying his best to try and keep up with Leopard. Leopard now down to 8%. Fern is gaining once again, and this could be very, very close in the end, as Fern trying his best to keep up to Leopard. Through the next lap once again comes Fern. On the DRS back straight is Maloney and Tom battling side by side. Maloney gets the job done. Up into P6 he goes on track. Didn't want to waste any time. Reclusive gets a penalty in front, not what he wanted at this latter stage as well, and still closing in through the left comes Fern. On to the next left comes to the next right, sorry, comes Fern. DRS is in usage in a couple of laps, in a couple of corners time, and now Leopard has been trying to keep up with Square once again, been doing well to try and keep up. 1.6 is the gap now with 4 laps to go. Square has to be careful here. He's using so much of his ERS, it may come to bite him in the neck at the moment on the final lap if he uses any more. Through the next left and through the right, Fern is gaining on Leopards. Is he close enough to try and make a move this time? Does he want to wait for the final lap? It's probably looking likely. Through the final corner of Sector 2 and into Sector 3 now. Fern getting closer to Leopard all the time, using ERS to try and get the gap down through into the final corner now. Fern once again using DRS on the final corner as we enter lap 27 and 29. 3 laps to go. ERS in usage for Fern once again. 1.5 is now the gap between Leopard and Square. It's getting closer all the time. Fern is getting closer to Leopard. Is he close enough to try and make a move into turn 1? Not quite, and still has to look at the back of the Mercedes, but now Square is looking a little bit dangerous here, and maybe could be the loss of the race win in sight. Leopard could snatch it in the matter of seconds, but so could Fern. Through the next left once again, Fern just biding his time on Leopard to try and get in closer to Square so we can try and win this race. Through the next left and the next right, 27 to 29, 3 laps to go in this Bahrain Grand Prix. Through into the left and into the right, Fern getting closer to Leopard all the time, 6/10 back at the moment, using his ERS this time to try and close up. Through the next left and into the double left, Fern using the DRS once again, ERS in usage once again, but doesn't want to use it. There he goes now. This is his time to pounce. This is when he wants to pounce now, with only 3 laps to go. This is his time, as Square is losing a lot of time in front. 1.3 is the gap between himself and Leopard, with Fern 5/10 up the behind his Leopard. And still closing in through the right. Once again, Fern trying his best to keep up with Leopard, and Leopard trying his best to keep up to Square. 1.1 is the gap now. Fern has to make this job done if he wants to try and get P2. Lap 28 to 29. 2 laps to go in this LCR round 1 here in Bahrain. DRS wide open. This time Fern using all his ERS down the back straight, and he's getting closer to Leopard. Does he dive it down the inside? This is time to strike. Switches to the left hand side onto the racing line side by side. Going into turn 1, Fern just losing a little bit too wide, and Leopard gets the job done. 9/10 of a second now is Leopard to Square, so Square could lose this now with Leopard in the DRS. Fern is getting closer to Leopard, not quite close enough. 7/10 is the gap now. Square could lose this race on the final lap. This is absolutely incredible between these top 3. They've been battling all the way, and it's going to go down to the final lap of round 1. Leopard getting closer to Fern, and Square rarely running on any ERS. Fern is looking the best out of the lot. Here comes Leopard trying his best to keep up to Square. This could be absolutely incredible for Fern to try and win on his debut. DRS in usage for Leopard and for Fern. Square is in a spot of bother here, in towards the next left. Leopard's already gaining on Square, and onto the final lap they go in a matter of quarters time. Leopard could snatch the lead away from Fern here, and through the next right comes Fern once again, and Leopard and Square. 4/10, 5/10, 6/10 now. 5/10 once again. Square is gonna lose this race on the final lap as he enters the final corner of the penultimate lap on lap 28 of 29. Square rounds the final corner. Square is leading on lap 28 as we enter the final lap of the Bahrain Grand Prix. They're gonna go 3 abreast here. Leopard trying his best on Square. Chooses right or left. He chooses right. Fern sticking to the right hand side and then banging wheels. Leopard takes the lead. Fern trying it down the outside of Square. There's more contact made. Square up into P2. Leopard in P1. Square's the DRS, so does Fern. Bouncing their way through the bite. Leopard leads. Fern trying it down the inside of Square. They're still side by side. Fern trying it down the inside of Square. Is he going to get it? He forces it wide. They're still side by side. Leopard still leads. Fern and Square battling toe to toe. Square still trying his best to try and hold turn 2. And they're still going to rounds. Square still leads. But Leopard could win this race on the final lap. And what a drive it would have been. Leopard now 1 second clear of Square and Fern. Fern down the inside of Square. Brilliant move from the Mexican magician. He gets Square. Square's lost 2 positions on the final lap, and it's not worked out for Square at all, as Leopard has raced a brilliant race here today, and on the final lap it's taken the final lap for the pair to battle. It takes 3 to tango, and what a race we have in store today, and what a race it has been. Leopard will take the victory if nothing catastrophic happens. Leopard from 5th on the grid. He's battled away. He's had third breathing down his neck all race, but it's going to be LCR Leopard, the 6-time world champion. The German genius wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. Fern will take a brilliant second, but Square, losing it on the line, will take P3 with Bourbon Boy P4. Reclusive takes P5 with Maloney in P6. With Vefoti Tom in P7, White Jammin takes 8th, with Amazed in P9, Scather in P10. What a race that was from everyone. An absolutely fantastic race we had in store, as Amazed losing it on there. LCR Leopard is your race winner, the first race winner of season 11. He takes the championship lead going into Saudi Arabia. What a race that was. LCR Leopard take a bow from 5th on the grid, with PSR Fern as well doing well to get it up in P2 on his debut. What a race that was. What a final lap. Leopard taking 4 positions, Fern taking 1 square. Just unfortunately losing out on ERS on the final lap. Takes P3. Bourbon Boy as well, doing very, very well on the alternate strategy. Gets up into 4th. That was so hard to choose the driver of the day here. But I have no idea who I'm going to give it to. But Leopard, what a race win from him. And he takes full points going in to the next round. What a race we have had here today. And it is LCR Leopard taking the win here in Bahrain. What a race we had in store as Amaze trying to get past the line immediately. And there we go. LCR Leopard is your winner. What a race we had in store there. Absolutely fantastic all the way through. As Leopard, the German genius, back on top here in LCR and takes another win here in Bahrain. And what a race we had in store. Won it last season and he's back once again to win it again. What a race we had in store. And it's LCR Leopard taking 4 points with Square just unfortunately losing out there on the last lap, losing 2 positions. Fern waited to try and get the win, but he couldn't quite get it in the end. But the Mexican will be very, very happy with P2. VSR Square be unfortunate to lose P3, but a brilliant race nevertheless. And we have been treated to an absolute race and a half we have here in the Bahrain, in the desert. What a race we had here in LCR on the debut of Season 11. What a race that was. And the full results be coming in now. What a race. Absolutely fantastic from start to finish. As there is your classifications. LCR Leopard takes the win LCR Leopard takes the win in LCR with PSR Fern taking a very, very good P2 on his debut. VSR Square from pole position just couldn't quite convert it into the win. And on the last lap he just lost out, but it's a very, very good podium in the end. Bourbon Boy takes P4 with Reclusive in P5. Maloney takes P6 with FRT Tom in 7th. Wide Jamming is 8th. And TMS Amaze is in P9 with Scather in P10. Your retirements were ERL Franic, Shazoo Sindri, F1 Ben and Zach Oates later on. But what an absolutely fantastic race we had in store. But that has been the LCR round number 1 of the season. An absolutely fantastic race we had in store. An absolutely fantastic race we will have next week. What a race in store we've had today. And it's LCR taking the top points. If I'll just direct you to our next race we have in Saudi Arabia in the Jeddah Street circuits. An absolutely cracker of the race we had in real life. Let's hope for another one as we head to Australia on the 6th of February with Portugal in 13th of February with Monte Carlo taking a return to the calendar on the 20th with Canada in the 27th, Great Britain in 6th and France on the 13th of March. What a race we've had in Bahrain. What a couple of races we have next lined up. I've been PSR Jish. Hope you enjoy your rest of your evening on the Sunday. Thank you all for tuning in. I will see you next week for the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. Take care and good night.